One day, there will be a last time someone says your name. It's an odd thought, not frightening, just strangely difficult to let go of once it arrives. When you're young, life has a habit of convincing you that it simply keeps unfolding. Every ending is followed by another beginning. Every chapter leads somewhere else. There is always another year waiting. Then, quietly, without any announcement, something changes. You realize you're no longer only imagining your life, you're remembering it. That isn't the same thing. For the first time, you can almost stand outside it. You can see the roads you took and the ones you didn't. The moments that changed everything. The moments you thought would matter forever, but somehow disappeared. And with that comes another, quieter realization. The people who once stood where you stand now are gone. Not famous people or names in history books. Ordinary people. People whose lives felt every bit as vivid and important as yours feels today. At some point, for each of them, someone spoke their name for the last time. We know that a human life doesn't disappear all at once. It fades gradually, almost imperceptibly. For a while after we're gone, we still exist inside other people's conversations. Someone remembers a favorite saying, the way we laughed at our own jokes. The stories are told again and again. Then, as the years pass, they become less frequent. Not because the life mattered less, simply because the people who remembered it begin to disappear too. Eventually, perhaps decades from now, someone will mention your name one final time. They won't realize they've just reached the end of a thread stretching back through your entire life. Only history, if history could notice such things, would know that something had quietly happened that would never happen again. That moment has already happened for almost everyone who has ever lived. Billions of human beings have walked this earth. Almost every one of them has already had their last spoken name. It simply slipped unnoticed into history. Perhaps that's why people separated by oceans and centuries all developed remarkably similar traditions. Long before they could communicate with one another, cultures around the world arrived at the same instinct. Speak the names of those who came before. Tell their stories again. Light candles. Visit graves. Gather for meals. Write names onto family records. They all feared the same quiet disappearance. The details differed, but the hope was the same. That perhaps a person is never entirely gone, while someone still remembers. Every human life, no matter how rich or complicated, eventually becomes only a handful of stories. Not because those stories were the most important, because they were the ones that survived. Behind every remembered story were thousands that quietly disappeared. A complete human life, as rich and complicated as your own. We imagine that when memories fade, a life slowly disappears. But memory is only one way a person continues. There is another. Consequence. A kindness someone showed you 40 years ago may still shape the way you speak to strangers. A habit your father had may now be yours, without you ever noticing. A phrase your grandmother repeated may one day come out of your own mouth, and later from your grandchildren's. Influence has a curious habit. It doesn't always travel with a label attached. In many ways, we inherit people we never met, but through gestures, expressions, ways of laughing or comforting a child, ideas that become family traditions, long after nobody remembers who first began them. Fragments of forgotten lives continue quietly inside living ones, even after the names themselves have faded. Eventually, even those traces become impossible to follow. Someone, years from now, may discover your name on a family tree, a date of birth, a date of death, Perhaps a photograph, perhaps a single sentence. She loved the sea. He built the family home. She traveled alone across Egypt on horseback. He never missed a Sunday lunch. Strange, isn't it? An entire lifetime reduced to the one story that happened to survive. Not because it defined the person, simply because someone remembered it. And yet, behind that single sentence were thousands of unseen moments, quiet victories, private fears, laughter that echoed through rooms now long gone, and small acts of kindness that changed someone else's life without ever becoming a story, a complete human life. Perhaps that's simply the price of time, or perhaps it reminds us of something else, that the value of a life was never measured by how long it would be remembered. Because if that were true, almost every person who has ever lived would have lived in vain. Instead, perhaps the measure of a life is found in the countless ways it quietly changes other lives, long after anyone remembers where those changes began. One day, someone will say your name for the last time. You won't know when, neither will they. But between today and that distant moment is an entire lifetime still unfolding. People to encourage, conversations to have, kindnesses to leave behind, stories that nobody yet knows will matter. And perhaps that's enough. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. Until next time, keep noticing.